Good day everyone, especially to you mom. For today, we will going to discuss about virtue is acquired and a product of effort. So what is virtue, how it is acquired, and why it is a product of effort? Virtue refers to strength of character that develops by doing the things one ought to do. Example, telling the truth, paying your bills, and looking after the health and well-being of those who depend on you. So, virtue in Tagalog, which means kabutihan. So, kung ano yung kabutihan natin na ginagawa sa kapwa natin. So, yung example, telling the truth, so it is the virtue of being honest, paying your bills or your responsibility to pay your bills, then looking after the health and well-being of those who depend on you or those that you care, those people that significant, or those people, for example, your family, your loved ones. So virtue ethics was proposed by Aristotle. So how this virtue is acquired? Since Aristotle said that virtue can be acquired. So in this sentence or statement, we can say that virtue is not inherited by our parents. Ang kabutihan na na ginagawa natin ay hindi natin namamana sa ating mga magulang. Ito raw ay na-earn through effort, dedication, and persistence according to Aristotle. So yung pagiging honest pala, hindi pala natin iyon namamana sa mga magulang natin, kundi iyon ay ating nakamit dahil ginagawa natin at may dedication tayo at persistence na gawin iyon. It is said, according to Aristotle, that virtue is achieved through and with others. So, virtue or ang kabutihan ay imposible in isolation o yung ikaw lang mismo. Kasi paano mo naman masasabi na you have the virtue of honesty if only you don't have other companion, you don't have a family. So, and also, how can you show you look after the health and well-being of the other if it's only you? So, virtue is achieved through and with others. So, it requires interaction, it requires communication, it requires many people to engage to achieve or to acquire virtue. According to Aristotle, virtue is acquired through constant practice. So if we have that virtue, for example, we are honest, so honesty cannot be acquired only by doing just once or just twice, because virtue can be acquired according to Aristotle that it is acquired and developed through constant practice. So yung pagiging honest pala natin is hindi natin ginagawa yung unang beses lang o dalawang beses, kundi patuloy natin, pinapractice natin yung honesty natin. Virtue is acquired by doing the work persistently, consistently, and unfailingly. Dahil sinasabi dito na yung virtue ay ma-acquired natin in constant practice, so ibig sabihin, hindi natin na-acquired yung virtue overnight or just one night na-acquired agad natin. So it takes certain amount of time, discipline, and effort. Next is virtue, reason, and the pursuit of happiness. So how do we become happy people? Aristotle says that we do so through having the right habits, which he described as virtue. So that right habits is considered the virtue. And more specifically, a life of reason is one that is devoted to rational activities such as thinking and reasoning, because we have a happy life if we have some certain virtue, and that certain virtue we acquire that because we have also certain reason of acquiring such virtue. So, how it is important to have a life of virtue and a life of reason. So, this kind of life gives a man the deepest joy and happiness. If a man have a life of virtue and a life of reason, this kind of life will gives a man the deepest joy and happiness according to Aristotle. This is the life we human can share with the gods. Because pag may kabutihan tayo sa ating sarili o sa ating puso, so it means that we are doing what God or what we believe are right and the things that human should do, because that life is what we can share with the gods. So, and one that is dedicated to contemplation of divine and eternal truth. Then, what is man's pursuit of happiness? So, Aristotle say that every act that a person does is dedicated towards a particular purpose or aim, or what the Greek called telos. So, 'di ba sana ano natin, for example, dito sa paaralan natin, bakit ba tayo nag-enroll ng education? Ano ba yung reason natin? Ano ba yung ini-aim natin na makamit in the future? Because according to Aristotle, for every pursuit of a person's hopes to achieve a good, the good is considered to be the telos or the purpose for which all acts seek to achieve. Cited in Bulaong et al. 2018, page 83. So, what is good and how it relates to the pursuit of happiness for man? In Aristotle's highly influential book, Nicomachean Ethics, it is believed that Nicomachean Ethics book of Aristotle was inspired by his son Nicomachus. In Aristotle's book Nicomachean Ethics, he discerned basically the nature of human happiness, or what we call eudaimonia, as the ultimate and final goal of all human striving, by reference to our special and unique function as human being. For Aristotle, something is good if it functions according to its nature, and it serves the very purpose of its being. For example, a knife is good if it's able to cut, and a ball pen is good if it's able to write on paper. So, what is the essence of human being and what makes him truly as one? What is his truest nature? Following Aristotle thinking, we human are unique in our capacity to exercise rationality in our conduct and decisions. The excellent use of reason is what Aristotle considered as a virtuous activity. Virtue is an activity of the soul or a course of action in accordance with reason. Reason is the one that directs and governs all human activities and pursuit of his existence. To be happy, which the ultimate and highest human good, or eudaimonia, or the total well-being or happiness, is to live a life of virtue. To live virtuously is to live a life of reason, which is in accordance with our truest nature. It can only be achieved practically through a life of moderation. Thank you. That's all. I hope you learned something from the discussion, and the next reporter will be Ginny Ramirez, which tackle about the golden mean.